talk to us about them now. Hello, thank you all for coming. Also, a thank you to my professors who have helped me gain the skill sets needed to better articulate the ideas in two-dimensional and three-dimensional forms I have chosen to use tonight. This is a series of works based around a group of ideas that give form to different moments in the psychological landscape by representing them as small physical landscapes. I'd like to walk you briefly through the concepts behind them. The first, confronting chaos, has a relationship to Joseph Campbell's journey to the underworld, but also to many other older sayings, such as facing your demons. It is a depiction of the moment when you decide to face your problem head on, when you determine that the monsters waiting to come to you will not suffice, and instead you're going to seek them out where they live. This is a historic notion, as well as a personal one. I consider old maps in the places beyond what was known. They would put the warning, there be dragons here. Now, if you consider a dragon to be a mythical beast, that seems like nonsense. Our materialist age dismisses many old things this way. But if you consider a dragon to be a representation of an unknown predator, an unknown danger, then surely you agree there were dragons. Perhaps there still are. Throughout history, we have chosen to seek out the unknown chaos, seek it out where it lives, rather than waiting to be consumed by it. While my first piece deals with unknown chaos, in my second, I have chosen to deal with the known chaos. Conquering chaos is my only piece with no surreal elements. It needs no additives. We all know this idea, to climb a mountain. Even in today's age, with all the mountains mapped, with all the elevations numbered, there are those who take this drama on literally. What does it mean to climb a mountain? What does it mean to climb a mountain we know the chill of, the height of? We know the lack of oxygen there. What does that mean? It means we can. We can pick up what is needed and carry forward. We can use the lessons learned and plan under the grim knowledge of just how hard it is and strive on. The majority of chaos in this age is more like a mountain than a dragon. We are more informed than any night in the dark. What we face are challenges in the glaring light of the information age, and we tearing forward knowing how hard it is. But also, over and over, there are those that prove it can be done. The choice of the individuals who still climb mountains show us that we can, and that action resonates out to us all. My third piece is titled The Fruitful Frontier. And yes, that is a play on the final frontier from Star Trek. I can't help but be drawn into the imagery of science fiction, the imagery of space. I think possibly it is both physically and psychologically accurate to the mental landscape that we are faced right now, awaiting the next step in our progression. In the asteroid homestead, I am considering a rather novel look at what life would look like in space, while at the same time exploring how precious the home is. The home can sustain you. It can build you up. It can empower you. And yes, I do mean the physical space. More importantly, I mean how you care for the precious bit of space you have been given to exist in. How you treat your home, your room, your land, if you are so blessed, your garden, is a reflection of how you treat yourself. A derelict home and a derelict building, those things are not good for the world. And I would like to say, just as importantly, neglecting your own soul is also not good for the world. This piece is intended to represent the closer future of what is possible if each individual can treat their home as precious. I believe if we can do this, we will become able to step out into the universe. The last piece I will be talking about today is dawning dreams. For a long time, this was the hardest imagery for me to explain in words. My idea for this tower structure started a few years ago after watching an episode of Megastructures. There was a tower on it in Dubai that was designed to sway in the wind like a bamboo plant. The notion of designing towers more like plants never left me. I began thinking about the possibilities in a distant future of nano and bioengineering, wherein we could change how we build to something more like growing buildings, growing them on a molecular level. Within this idea of how different technology could get, how much it would change the way we lived, I developed an interest in a series of questions. Who will we be then? How will we recognize ourselves? How do we recognize ourselves now? That is how I came to fixate on a wave of acknowledgement across a distance. I think it's interesting that around the world, you can hold up your hand and acknowledge another's humanity. One person with full knowledge or no knowledge of another can offer this simplest form of love across a distance as far as the eye can see. I think about how ancient this is. I think about it could be here before writing, before known history. And whatever that connection is, I think it is a connection that can keep pulling us forward across the sands of time. I hope that this reflection upon the small individual represented as fine silver can inspire you to reflect on the value of yourself and the value of your choices in the world. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Could you talk about your piece back?
Sure. This one is called Wayward Wisdom, and I was processing it at the same time as I was processing Conquering Chaos, and I developed it as an idea of, it's a double idea. The idea of using stars to navigate and their symbol as an actual tool and as something that is a knowledge above you, I find to be very fascinating. And I was incorporating the idea of kind of the age we're in, where we need to incorporate different forms of knowledge and use them together. And that's why I included 4 dominant stars instead of one, like the North Star. I wanted to do more than that. And the different stars was history, logic, philosophy, and science. And it's the idea of using them together to find a more functional path. Anyway?
Do you plan to continue this body of work or working with this concept?
The Sands of Time series I feel is very complete, although the majority of my work does still work with metaphors, either revisiting them or finding out where they maybe pertain to us now.